We are all across the board today. We have some Middle Eastern, some niche, some designer, and some random affordable fragrances. These are 10 new fragrances, either new to the market or new to my personal collection that I have. Most of them were successful. A couple of them I'm kind of like, meh about. So if you want to hear my thoughts, keep on watching. Hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Aleisha Budget Beauty. My name is Aleisha. Here on my channel, I love all things affordable fashion, beauty, and fragrance. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, roundups of new fragrances, and my thoughts, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. All right, you guys, I wasn't sure how I was going to structure this video today. At first, I thought it was going to just be a dedicated to one fragrance video that is a new fragrance to my collection. And then I realized I do bring in a lot that I never end up even sharing with you guys because I'm constantly trying, smelling, purchasing. I don't recommend that for everyone. It's kind of my job now to do that. So, but there's a lot of things that I get in and sometimes I'll love it and I never even get to share it with you guys. So I thought, let's just bring in a bunch of the players today. So the one that I want to start with though, and the one that I almost just made a single dedicated video to, is the new Lattafa. This is the Abiyedh Coral, Abiyedh Coral. You guys, this took forever to get to me. Also in this video, I ordered from random places. So I'll definitely tell you where I ordered from. I got this off of Amazon and I don't know who the actual seller was on Amazon. This was a me problem. I did not realize it stated on there when this was going to ship. I just didn't realize that. I'm so used to ordering off Amazon and getting it like 3 days later. This was like a 6-week wait. And by the time I realized that, I didn't want to cancel the order. So I just waited forever. So I'm not brand new on this. I know a lot of people have already talked about this one. You guys, I love this fragrance so much. Honestly, one of my favorites lately. Now, I have noticed a lot of people are leaving out what this might be inspired by, and that is Room 1015's Wave Child. So I have a sample of that. My dear sweet friend Kelly, if she's watching, love you. She sent me a few of her Room 1015s. She had that one in particular. I'd always wanted to smell Wave Child. It blew up last year as like the it girl, it boy watermelon fragrance. And when I got in that sample, I was a little disappointed, but I was also on the fence. I really liked it. I was like longing for a watermelon fragrance. I think a lot of us look at watermelon as a note, kind of like banana, that we want to be executed really well and it sounds so great in a fragrance, but a lot of times it just misses the mark and it's not the most common note to find in fragrances. And I just kind of felt like for the price of Wave Child and that it was always sold out, I liked it, but I think I had hyped it up a lot in my mind. Months have gone by, like 6 months since I have actually worn that sample, tried it. So when this came in, it was completely like a fresh fragrance DNA for me to smell. And you guys, I think this is so good. It actually exceeded my expectations, but I don't want to oversell it because I know that some people have felt like it isn't what some of the reviewers were saying and didn't love it. I know some people do love it. I'm just going to tell you why I personally love this so much. I really have grown to love very fresh, kind of aquatic, juicy fragrances. I loved the Mango Hogoso. If you guys got to try that one by Paris Corner, I loved that one so much. I also loved the coconut one that came out in that line. You can get those at Aroma Concepts. I loved them because they just felt like a burst of freshness and like a wave is washing over me with some tropical fruits. It's not too sweet, it's not too heavy, and I fell in love with those so much that I've been longing for more fragrances like that. That's what I really get with this coral fragrance. It has a reminiscence of a watermelon Jolly Rancher, but it is not exact. And I think that most of the people that were disappointed in this were expecting that ultra sweet candy Jolly Rancher type of fragrance. You can actually get that in an Ocha fragrance that's pretty close. There is a watermelon one. I cannot think of exactly what it's called. I have it, I believe. I know I have a sample, but that one is more of that Jolly Rancher vibe. I wanted something more fresh, and that's what I get from this. It's like you take a Jolly Rancher and you dissolve it in water and then you spray it on. It's like a Jolly Rancher has been diffused and taken out some of the sweetness, but it's still there, but you just get this aquatic burst with this. And I personally don't really smell the orange or the white floral in this. I get watermelon above anything, but I do get peach too. I get a mixture of the two. It's not a descript, like just, oh, I smell a ripened peach, and it doesn't necessarily smell like realistic watermelon either. It's like you take the two and the Jolly Rancher sort of vibe to it. And then the coconut, honestly, I don't really detect coconut in this either. It may be very, 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 very subtly in the background. But what's so neat about this, and at first I wasn't sure how I felt about this, and then I was like, no, I actually do like that about it. After this dries down a few hours later, you do kind of lose that fruitiness, that sort of aquatic feeling, the watery fruits. And what's left is an amber vanilla musk that actually reminds me a lot of the Lattafa Yara Candy base. If you know that fragrance, you know how that starts out with this fizzy candied strawberry, and then hours later what's left is a really pretty vanilla musk sort of thing, and amber. It's very, very similar to this. So if you love that base, if you love how that dries down hours later, you're really gonna like this one too. And I wasn't even fully aware that that's what this fragrance does, that it dries down like that, until I had worn it a couple of times, sprayed it in a room, and when I went and entered the room again a couple of hours later, I thought, man, something smells like almost ice cream like, but it's like kind of peppy and zesty and warm. And then I realized, like, oh, that's the base of this fragrance. That's that vanilla and amber, like really in action in the air. So I almost feel like I do get two fragrances in one with this. But if you're wanting that watermelon to stick around and to have it be that aquatic feel the whole duration, the entire like 6-8 hour wear time, it doesn't last the whole time, but it does stick around for a couple of hours on the skin before it changes into the other type of fragrance. So I love this. I think it is a fantastic spring and summer scent, especially summer. I mean, I can see myself wearing this by the pool, just grabbing it. It's an easy wear for me. I'm very, very, very happy. And I do think that it is very similar to the OG, but I like this better. I think it's just a little bit more fun and peppy smelling. I just think it has more zest going on to it. So that is Lattafa's Anna Abiyedh Cork. I have a fragrance I'm a little late in the game with as well. I resisted buying this, then I broke down. I was like, you know what? I'm just so curious. Let me go ahead and grab it. And that is Noble Blush by Lattafa. I love this bottle. I think the bottle is gorgeous. Like it's like an addictive feeling whenever it almost has that like rubberized, like flat, matte sort of feeling. I want to like, oh, I don't know, something addictive about that. I do think that the silver accent is really pretty. This one, I am so torn on. I have so many conflicting thoughts about this fragrance. I don't hate it and I don't love it. I know this one is a fairly divisive fragrance. Like it seems like most people either do love it or hate it. I am very firmly in the middle. I see both sides. I can see why people really like it. I can see why people hate it. So Number one, I think calling this a strawberry milk, strawberry shake fragrance is so misleading. Kind of like whenever Pink Yara came out and everyone was saying that was a strawberry shake. I'm like, Nestle Quick Wear. Where's that bunny? He needs to come add some strawberry because I'm not finding it. You know, like I thought that was a crazy way to describe that fragrance. I do get more of like a strawberry kind of thing going on in this one than I did the Yara Pink. But ultimately, at least to my nose, this is a really sweet, milky, powdery, soapy rose fragrance. More than it's like a strawberry anything. And it's very musky. It's very, very musky. And part of me thinks this is really relaxing and calming type of fragrance and very pretty and feminine. And then the other part of me thinks it's a little gauche. Like it's just, it's so fake smelling to me. It's so kind of cheap must smell. It almost, whenever I smell it like this straight out of the bottle a lot, it's making my stomach turn as we're talking. Not because I think it smells bad. It just doesn't smell like a high quality fragrance. And you guys know me, I love a cheapie. I love a cheapie. The last one I just talked about is a cheapie, but it doesn't smell cheap. This smells very cheap, but it kind of smells good. But I think there's just something a little off-putting for some people about this. And I think it's the quality of the musk in here possibly. And then if you don't like powdery, you're also probably not going to like this. I like the juxtaposition of this kind of light, airy, fluffy powdery, and then this kind of dense milkiness with this. I think that's a cool contrast. I like the like sort of creamed rose in this. It's very unique because it's not a like a dewy rose or a jammy rose, or it almost has a vintagey sort of quality, I do think, to this rose, but I think it's because of the powderiness. I just, man, you guys, I went back and forth. I do think that wearing it and like just in the wild, I think that I smell good when I can smell it on myself, but I don't enjoy just sticking my nose up to it. It truly like gives me almost a gag reflex. Again, not because it smells bad. It's just, you can even do that sometimes with like desserts that are too sweet. They smell good, but if you smell it too much, you start to feel sick. So I'm very, very in the middle. I cannot firmly say don't get this or get this. This is a you have to try it. I don't feel comfortable telling someone either way because I'm so in the middle and I see both sides. So I think for now, I'm going to keep this in my collection. I don't know if it'll stay forever. Not a complete failure, but not a love for me. That is Noble Blush. All right, this next one is a major cheapie that I think is so good. This is Bella Vita and it is Honey Oud. Got this for like 18-20 bucks off of Amazon for 100 ml. And my good friend Janelle had sent me a sample of this and I was like, oh yeah, that's fantastic. I'm getting that. Honey lately and I have been getting along so much better than we used to. I used to find a lot of honey fragrances to be that sort of like, sorry for lack of a better word, but like a pissy honey. Like sometimes it smelled like pee to me. Like I didn't like it, or it would smell kind of feral. But I have been really enjoying it lately when it smells like more authentic honey to me. Now this does also have some oud and some bergamot, some spiced vanilla, some rose, some musk, I believe. I think it also might have amber, and I think in the base it does have some patchouli that honestly doesn't stand out to me. I primarily get this sort of spiced vanilla honey oud. Those are the three main things, and probably the amber because this is pretty like warmed up as well. I think this is definitely more of a cooler weather fragrance for me. I got it the very kind of like tail end of winter, so I didn't get to wear it much, but it smells like a niche fragrance. It smells more expensive than it is. Now, unlike the last one, Noble Blush, where it had this, like, it smelled good, but it smelled cheap. This smells good and smells expensive, but it's not. I will say, I think you have to like some like weight to your fragrances, some oudiness. It's not very animalic, but it has this sort of deep richness to it. If you like something lighter, fluffier, it does have a sweetness, but it's still grounded in that sort of like earthy, deep, oudy sort of vibe. If you're looking for something super, super sweet, easy peasy, light and airy, I don't think this would be for you. If you are a honey fan, if you like a really rich, kind of spiced vanilla fragrance, I think that you would really like it. It's a fantastic buy. It also wears a pretty long time as well, like a good like 6 hours or so. It projects really well. Actually could probably, I haven't gotten to worn it enough to tell you if it could go even longer than 6 hours. I know that it will last 6 hours. I haven't really like sprayed it all over my clothing and worn it all day long to tell you if it's like a beast mode like that, but it projects almost beast mode. So it's a fantastic buy. If you're looking for a really good oudy, honey, spice vanilla fragrance, honey oud, fantastic value. All right, next I'm moving on to a fragrance that is not cheap, okay? I show a lot of affordable fragrances on my channel. I love doing that. Like my heart is in like finding the best deals and things that are pretty, whether it's clothing, makeup, fragrance that are not expensive. I love that, but I do have quite a few more expensive perfumes in my collection as well that I do love. And sometimes I do think that the extra price is worth it. So one of those that is newer to my collection is by Day 3 Fragrances. This is Tres Oros. And Day 3 Fragrances is a fantastic house, you guys. I absolutely love his fragrances. Michael is the perfumer and owner, but it is a family-run fragrance house. A lot of the fragrances, if not all of them, are inspired by the Dominican Republic. That is Michael's wife, and then his mother-in-law are Dominican, so that's where he gets a lot of his inspiration. And this is the most recent fragrance, Tres Oros. It translates to 3 gold, actually, 3 golds. So this is the box it comes in, really fancy, beautiful. The notes are in here, so I'm just gonna read them. This is pineapple, mandarin orange, sweet plantain, cinnamon, nutmeg, honey, brown sugar, and amber. And this is supposed to, it says, experience all the sweetness of a mouth-watering Dominican treat with this creative and luxurious gourmand. And oh my goodness, is this ever a luxurious gourmand. You guys, I think this is my favorite gourmand and the best that I have in my entire collection. I have a lot of fragrances. I have a lot that I love that are very inexpensive, but this smells like rich money gourmand. This smells like you are at a swanky, nice, classy Dominican restaurant, and the dessert comes out on the plate and it's beautiful, it's drizzled to perfection. You've got that plantain, you know, plantains are used in a lot of the food over there, but maybe it's like a fried plantain, or maybe it's like crystallized caramelized with some like cinnamon and the nutmeg, and it is such a wearable gourmand as well. It does smell like you want to eat it, but it has this elevated class to it that still makes it very elegant and refined. Like, I don't feel like, a lot of times with gourmands, and I've been known to say on my channel, you should not spend a lot of money for gourmands. I stand by that. I think 95% of the time that is true. I take, for an example, like a fluffy strawberry pound cake sort of fragrance. It does not need to be 150 bucks. You can get that for 20, 30 bucks somewhere else. This is an experience, and it is it's just an elevated gourmand like I've never smelled before. And when the wind was hitting me when I was wearing this, I was getting a lot of that nutmeg and that cinnamon, and it was swirling around me, and I just smelled like a queen. I smelled like a Dominican queen who had left a banquet and just eaten the most decadent dessert. So in this scenario, I do think this fragrance is worth the price, even though it is pricey and expensive. I love this house. I stand by recommending an expensive fragrance when it is done this well. So that is Tres Oros by Day 3. All right, next up we have one that I'm gonna have some conflicting thoughts about as well. And this kind of goes along with pricing and what it is. All right, so we have Juliet Has a Gun Miami Shake. Now, I wanted to grab this because I've been meaning to bring in a Juliet Has a Gun perfume for a long time. I've smelled a lot of samples. I really, really love Pear Ink. I really like Juliet. I also do like Not Another Perfume. I don't think that Not Another Perfume is worth the price of what it is. There's a lot of other skin scents out there that I think do the job better, even though I like that fragrance. So I thought, you know what? I think this will be the one. I think that I'll really like it. Plus I had points, coupon, all the things. I did not pay, I had a gift card. So I think I paid 40 or 50 bucks for this. Am I happy with Miami Shake for 40 or 50 bucks? Absolutely I am. I think this smells great. Do I think it's necessarily worth the original price tag? I'm a little bit on the fence with that. So this has kind of gotten some bad reviews, and I'm really not sure why, because a lot of the people who haven't loved it are people who rave about a lot of KLE fragrances and like Young Bougie Marshmallow and all that. Like, I think this fits in that same category. I could see this being a KLE release, and I would say like it's really good, but I would also say, but maybe it's a little bit overpriced. I do kind of think that about this as well. I think this smells like Yum Bougie Marshmallow mixed with, this is a little bit more obscure, not everyone has smelled it, but Sphinx Strawberry Sugar High. I really love the Sphinx House. That's another brand that a lot of times I try to get theirs on sale, and on sale I think it's worth the price. Strawberry Sugar High by them, original price is maybe a little overpriced as well. It's just like a really sugary, kind of ambery strawberry fragrance. But I think you put the two of those together and you get Miami Shake. I don't get ice cream out of it, but I get just a really kind of like fun, sort of fizzy, uplifting, sugary strawberry that I think smells great. This one doesn't smell luxury like the last fragrance I talked about smells. Like, there is a definite, like, even more than $100 scent difference between the two when it comes to like the class they would be in. But I think this smells great. So I think with this one, I say if you have coupons, if you have gift cards, or if you just have extra money to spend and you love how it smells, yeah. But would I just urge everyone to go out and grab this if you're like on a budget, or, you know, if you're looking for like a really classy sort of strawberry gourmand? No, I think it's a little bit overpriced. I do like the bottle. I think it smells great. It's just kind of a pricing issue for me. All right, let's talk about my least favorite of the bunch. And I definitely have a bone to pick about this one. This is Philosophy's Fresh Cream. This I'm reading off of Ulta. What Ulta says, it's supposed to be ginger accord, Casablanca lily, vanilla, and chocolate. I think there's probably other notes that they left off, but I'm just going based off of what was on Ulta. That is where I purchased it. This is another one. I'm not too mad about it because I had points gift card. I think I spent 30 bucks on this, so it's not a lot lost. I don't think it smells horrible. My bone to pick with this is it smells nothing like fresh cream. Fresh cream where? Donde? Donde está fresh cream? It does not smell gourmand. Not that I like always have to have gourmand fragrances. I actually love a lot of other fragrances, but the promotions for this made this look like it was going to smell like something totally different. I get zero chocolate. None. Zero, nada, no chocolate in here. This smells so much on the skin like Carolina Herrera Good Girl. And I've already kind of said how I feel about that fragrance is I call it like my like skanky girl fragrance. I actually don't think that fragrance smells that amazing, but I have 2 dupes of it and I kind of like smelling like it sometimes, even though objectively I'm like, this doesn't really smell that good. But those dupes are super cheap. Even though I like the Carolina Herrera bottles, I would never pay the price for the Good Girl because I just don't think it smells like an expensive fragrance. This smells like Good Girl. This doesn't smell like fresh cream. It doesn't smell like chocolate. Like I get a kind of spiced floral out of this. Maybe it's the chocolate that's giving it almost a coffee sort of vibe, but it doesn't really smell like coffee. You guys, I just feel so duped with this one. And I kept looking like, is there patchouli in this? There is not. I kept looking everywhere to see if like maybe they list it on Philosophy site, but not on Ulta. But I do get something that kind of smells a little bit dirty in this. So I don't think it's horrible. It's just not at all what I imagine. Not safe blind buy if you're expecting it to smell like what you think it might smell like. Smell it in store. It is a cheaper version of Good Girl. It's not exact to Good Girl, but it gives you the same sort of vibe. So if you don't want to spend the money on Good Girl and you don't want to get one of the like cheapy dupes, this will work for you, I guess. But I'm probably going to declutter it. I haven't decided fully. I also don't think it's a very spring summer type of fragrance. It was like bothering me in the heat. Very confused. Fresh cream. Donde? All right, these next 2, I kind of want to talk about them together for 2 different reasons. One, I purchased both of them off of Sephora. So this is Brown Girl Jane. This is Casino. We've got the travel of it. And then we have the Ellis Brooklyn Marshmallows. I love both of these, and I think that they pair so well together. I also don't know if you need them both. They're not necessarily dupes of each other, but they give similar vibes, like smoky, marshmallowy kind of vibes. So the Casino, I'm gonna go ahead and read you guys the notes. It is espresso, affogato, rose quartz, misted pearl, lucky red rose, ruby orchid, handpicked jasmine, golden rum cake, almond foam, and blonde woods. And then we have the Ellis Brooklyn Marshmallows, which is marshmallow, lemon, peach skin, caramel accord, benzoin, vanilla orchid, milky musk, amber woods, patchouli, Indonesia. I was like so happy with these, you guys. These were 2 blind buys just on a whim. I had some points, Sephora, got them, and I just think that they're both so great. But the reason why I don't know if you need them both, necessarily, smells so good. Okay, so the Casino really has this almost like you smell faint smoke in the background. Doesn't smell like cigarette smoke, just smells like something is kind of burning off in the distance. And then you get a little bit of that sweetened rum, sort of espresso, but it's not overly coffee where it's like too bitter. And you get a little bit of caramel. It smells kind of like Replica by the Fireplace mixed in with something kind of sweet caramelly marshmallow. And then you have actual marshmallows over here that I get above anything. I know there's all other kind of notes in this, but I get a tiny bit of citrus at the top and then just lots of marshmallowy goodness. I think this is a perfect layering fragrance if you want to bring anything marshmallowy or sweeten something up without using, like if you don't really love vanilla, but you want to add something sweeter that smells kind of like vanilla, but not like the baker's vanilla. You want marshmallowy instead. This is a perfect thing to add in. When I spray these together, it just draws out more of the sweetness of this fragrance and kind of cuts into that smokiness. But then the two of them combined kind of have that by the fireplace sort of vibe with like a toasty marshmallow effect. So I feel like I kind of duped myself a little bit in my personal collection getting both of these, and like especially wearing them together, but also they smell so good together. So this is kind of one where I'm like, I could tell you go out and get both and layer them and you'll love it and I wouldn't feel guilty. But then at the same time, I'm like, I don't know that you need them both either. So I say just go get your noses on them. If you're looking for more of a layering fragrance with marshmallow and everything, you're gonna go with marshmallows. If you want that kind of toasty marshmallowy scent, but with some of the like caramel and a little bit of rum and an espresso, go with Casino. I think both of them are fantastic options. All right, these last two fragrances I actually ordered off of Label Perfumes. I want to mention that because I never really hear anyone talk about Label. I've ordered several fragrances from them, and you guys, super fast shipping, extremely cheap. They mainly, I say the best deals are on some of your more obscure kind of discounted perfumes anyway. If you get some of their newer designer perfumes, they're not as cheap on there, but like fragrances like this Tommy Bahama, anything from like the 90s, the 2000s, earlier 2000s is going to be like the cheapest on there a lot of times. And a lot of times you can stack a coupon. So I'm talking some dirt cheap prices, but this is Martinique by Tommy Bahama. I got this because I really enjoy St. Bart's by Tommy Bahama. It is in a frosted kind of clear bottle, but it's frosted and it has a blue cap. That one is this sort of like margarita lime, fresh sort of driftwood type of fragrance. This one I don't like as much as St. Bart. I don't think this is bad, but this is a kind of a shampoo-y fragrance. The notes are raspberry, mandarin orange, red apple, exotic floral notes, musk, and vanilla. I don't get much vanilla out of this. I don't get a ton of sweetness. I do get more of a shampoo-y sort of vibe. It actually reminds me a little bit of a few Britney Spears fragrances. I can be in the mood for fragrances like this. When I say shampoo-y, I don't mean soapy. Like there's a difference to me. There's like hand soap, there's bar soap, and then there's like shampoo. This is like a Garnier shampoo type of fragrance. Maybe slightly leaning almost like hairspray. It doesn't smell like alcohol, but it just, if you guys know, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know that's one that I say like, yes, like even though it's super, super cheap, I think I paid like maybe $16, $17 for this and the bottle's really pretty. I don't know that many people would love it. If you like a shampoo-y vibe, if you like Blissful Fantasy by Britney Spears, I don't want to say Jungle Fantasy because I really, really like Jungle Fantasy and I think this is not as good as Jungle Fantasy, but if you're just looking for a cheapie to last you like 2-3 hours tops, outside going to the gym, and you want that like, oh, I just shampooed my hair sort of scent, I'd recommend it. Otherwise, even though it's cheap, I don't know that I would. I don't know that I will keep it or not. I gotta wear it in the right setting to see. But point is, Label is a great site for cheap fragrances, but this is Martinique by Tommy Bahama. Now this last fragrance I got off of Label is a gem. This is a hidden gem. This is First Snow. It is by Swiss Army, Victorinox Swiss Army. And number one, the bottle, it's like simple, but it's really pretty. I'm talking, you guys, this was like $12. Crazy, crazy, crazy cheap. And it's really good. So this is eucalyptus, white tea, vanilla, orange blossom, white musk, and tonka bean. Now, it's still not for everyone, but if you like a clean, musky fragrance, if you like some tea, if you like sort of more of an aromatic spa type of experience, I think that you'll really like this. This is like a white t-shirt fragrance. This is a bedtime fragrance, gym, office. It has this light, fluffy quality to it, to the cleanliness. It doesn't go soapy. It goes more of like clean skin, clean musk, and then that tonka gives it this sort of powderiness to it. But you do really get some of that tea and eucalyptus, so it's just very relaxing. And I know it's called First Snow, and it's supposed to be like just when like the snow settles and it's soft and kind of powdery and clean. And I do get that, but because it also has that eucalyptus in the white tea, it kind of gives it this brightness as well, where I think it works really year round. I could see myself wearing this any time. I can almost picture even like that first snow, and then like the sun comes out and it's just like the snow is glistening and there's like a warmth around you, even though there's snow on the ground. I kind of get that vibe. It is stunning. I cannot believe this is as cheap as it is. It does not smell cheap either. Definitely smells more expensive than Noble Blush. I keep talking about the differences there, but the musk in here smells much more high quality. You guys, if you love a musk, a clean, if you like any sort of like tea and musk, this is a hidden gem. Hidden gem. That is First Snow by Victorinox Swiss Army. But that is it, you guys. Those are 10 newish fragrances to my collection and my honest thoughts about them. I actually have much more than even this. A lot of them are some of my more expensive perfumes, my niche that I get that I'd love to also share on my channel, but I just always want to make sure I'm being mindful of people's wallets. I never want to have anyone feel FOMO or feel like the pressure to go like spend, spend, spend. So I will kind of filter them in with my affordable fragrances as well. I thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping, and smelling fabulous. Bye!